Hello, okay, we are live. I have never really used TikTok live, maybe like once a long time ago, but I'm trying to go live on my different platforms to see which one I like the best. And so today we're doing TikTok. And so I've got lots and lots of questions that I have printed off over the last several weeks that I haven't gotten to answer because summertime. And so now my two little ones are sleeping. This one's stirring a little bit, so hopefully we'll get to answer a few of these before she wakes up. And if she does, I'll just like run and get her and come back. But and also my husband is on his way home. He got done a little bit early today, and so I always try to like shut all of this down whenever he's home. So I think I have like 20 minutes, so let's go. First question, who cleans the pool? So our pool is a saltwater pool, and to maintain it, it is so easy. You simply dump a bag of pool salt. It's like a 5-10 pound maybe bag of pool salt in the pool like once a month. It's super easy and it stays really clean. We've recently had a filter that went out and we had to get a filter replaced, and so the filter is like cleaning up the cloudiness that happened when the pool was broken, but normally it stays very clean with just salt. So I would say if you were ever putting in a pool and you were able to do a saltwater pool, definitely do that, because we've had both kinds, and the non-saltwater pools are so hard to maintain, but this one is very easy. So that's how. And so we maintain it, but as far as like opening the pool and closing the pool, we have somebody come and do that. We have like a pool guy, a pool company, and they come usually in the fall. We have a heater on our pool, but we don't usually use it because once school starts and sports start, and it gets a little bit cooler, the kids just kind of switch modes. We're not like in the pool all the time. So usually we close the pool in September sometime, and then we usually open it again around like May, like when school's getting out. It's more of like a summertime pool. Okay, next question. How many square feet is your house? It's 10,000 square feet. So that's what I've been doing today. I have this ring here and it tells my steps, and I can't wait to like log on to my app and see how many steps I've done, because it has to be over 10,000 already because I have been running all over this house all morning. This live is good for me, and also nursing is good for me because it has forced me to like sit down, because otherwise I have just been like storming through the house over and over and over, just picking up and like de-summarizing the house. We did pretty good, but I haven't been able to like clean the way I normally clean, partly because the baby is she's 5 months old, Laura Kate. She just now is sleeping in her crib, because before this she only took naps on me, and if I set her down she would take like little cat naps. So this sleeping situation where I get to have a break from having baby sleep on me is a whole new ball game. Next question, do you ever put the baby down? I do right now. She loves being held, and I love holding her, and I love wearing her. I wear her with my hippie Joey wrap, but she is, I think, like 17 pounds now, so it's hard to wear her and clean and do everything else because she's heavier now. Next question, what is Jenna going to major in? I think she's thinking biology when she goes to college next year, but she can do whatever she wants, but I think that's what she's thinking right now. How do you keep your kids from fighting? So my kids do bicker on occasion. Overall, they get along very well, and I'm so thankful for that, but they're not magical unicorns. They do fight like every other child, I promise. So if sometimes like big personalities, you know, they clash a little bit. If that happens, then I say separate. I'm like, you guys just separate for a little bit. And that's one benefit of having a really big house, is that there's a lot of room to separate. And so they separate. By the time they come back together, they forget what they were even fighting about. So that's usually what I do. I say separate, and then I remind them often that their siblings are going to be here for their whole life, and they should just love each other. So sometimes I joke and I pull out like quotes from a movie and I'm like, everybody love everybody. So I don't know. I just say separate and then they figure it out. I try not to intervene too. That's another thing. I've learned that if I intervene, like if they're bickering, then the outcome is that I'm frazzled, they're still bickering. But if I let them resolve it themselves, and I might have suggestions like separate or something like that, but I don't like get into their bickering, I let them figure it out, then I'm not flustered, and they surprisingly figure it out. It's actually really cool to watch because they know mom's not going to get involved. Like unless it turns like really ugly or physical, you know, something like that, I just let them figure it out. And that is what I've found as a big mama advice or big family mama advice that, you know, I've passed down to a lot of people. Just let your kids figure it out. They're more capable than we think they are. Do we have a finished basement? No. So on the original floor plan, the house had a full basement, and that would have made us have like 13,000 square feet. That's crazy. And sometimes we think about that and we're like, it would be really nice to have a big open basement and we can just like put all the toys and like have arcade games and just like a basketball court, you know, like just let them have the basement to just go and be crazy in. But then I also think like, that's a lot of square feet to clean and just have. And so when we were building, they started to dig the basement and they hit like solid ridge. The whole width of our, like the whole length of our house is just like solid rock, which is awesome. You should build on solid rock. But to get a basement, we would have had to like jackhammer all of that and it would have been a lot. So we were like, we're fine. We don't need all of that. And the only, downfall is that the storm shelter was going to be in the basement, and so we brought the storm shelter up to the first floor, and so that was like a win-win. So it was like, well, the only thing we really needed in the basement we just brought up to the first floor, and it's like a concrete room, and we've been in there several times for tornado warnings. So anyway, there's the answer to that question. Next question, how deep is your pond? I actually don't even know that answer. I would say maybe 10 feet at the deepest. I think maybe a little deeper. And of course, when it rains, it gets a little high. But we have a 10-acre pond and it has bass in it. But we don't like swim in it. So like we don't really like scuba dive and snorkel, and we don't know how deep it is. But the boys like to take a little boat out and go fishing. The girls do too. But it's fun to have that pond for fishing. Okay, next question. You are such a nice and relaxed mom. Thank you. Who cleans your bathrooms? So I clean my bathrooms. I always tell this little trick. So I clean my own house. Sometimes better than others. Like when it's not summertime, I clean a lot more and better than I do during the summer. But it's still picked up and clean-ish, you know. I just don't have time in the summer to go all the way up to the third floor and clean like I do like right now. What I do for bathrooms is I will use a different bathroom, except on the third floor because that takes a long time to get up there. But if I have to go to the bathroom, I'll just pick a bathroom, go to the bathroom, and then I take like an extra few minutes, clean the toilet, wipe the sink down. I keep cleaning supplies in every bathroom, so it's always right there. And if you time yourself, it really doesn't take that long to clean a toilet or wipe the sinks down or even like wipe the floors down. Like all of those things take like 5 minutes max. And so if I just take a little extra time and clean, I'm already in the bathroom. It doesn't take that much more time. And the bathrooms stay clean that way. So that's my little trick there. How did Jenna like her college visit? Good question. So she toured the University of Arkansas the other day and she loved it. It was her first college tour and she might go on a few more. I'm not really sure, but that's the first one that she has scheduled and she loved it. She got to see the campus, meet with the right people for admissions and all that. and just get a feel for it. And she saw like the Greek life area. I don't know if she wants to be in Greek life, whatever she chooses there. But she loved it, so that's exciting. Next question. What does your husband do for a living? He is a neurosurgeon, so that's what he does. I always joke that he's a neurosurgeon, and then he comes home and he changes clothes and becomes a lumberjack, because he's always like in the woods cutting trees, on a tractor. So he's not like a typical neurosurgeon. He's kind of like a country neurosurgeon. Next question. Do you do baby-led weaning? And does Walmart charge for delivery? How far from Walmart are you? So I do baby-led weaning. I try to make it a year, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But when the baby is kind of just not interested in nursing anymore, I'm like, okay, we'll go on to whole milk, or, you know, whatever the case may be, formula if needed. But baby Laura is a great nurser, and I think that she will probably be one of my longer nursers. Just guessing. We might make it past a year. We'll see. I've made it past a year for some babies, but I always try to make it at least a year, just because. Does Walmart charge for delivery? So we have, I think it's called Walmart Plus, and so there's no delivery charge. But when we have big grocery deliveries or any grocery delivery, I always tip, because those drivers actually go. Like, they go to the store and they shop for you, and they like pick out your produce. They do all of it. They pick out your meat. Then they drive to your house, take your groceries, and put them on your front step. Like, I feel like hugging them every time they deliver groceries. I mean, I remember thinking that grocery pickup was amazing. I was like, I just pull into a parking spot and they put my groceries in my car. Like, I was so giddy about that. And then now they deliver and they bring it to your house, and it's just, I'm just so thankful. So I always tip, but there's not a delivery charge from Walmart with Walmart Plus. How did you and your husband meet? Next question. We actually met in high school originally, and we didn't date in high school. We weren't like high school sweethearts, but we got together after high school and like after college, and it was pretty much love at first sight. So the rest is history. Why is Rosie going into second grade? She just went into kindergarten last year. I know it feels like that, right? She was in first grade last year, but she's in second grade now, and Cora's in kindergarten, and they are all super excited about their grades and their teachers and everything. Let's see, what place is on you and Lucas's bucket list to visit? You guys ask good questions. I don't know. We are so happy at home. We're like the biggest homebodies. We just love being home. I think if my husband were here, like if he walks in, because he's on his way home, and I asked him that, he'd probably say here. He'd be like, this is my bucket list. Do you use the Hippie Joey with Laura Kate? Yes, that's my baby wrap that I'm always talking about, and I use it every single day. Like, no joke, every day. If I'm cooking dinner, or if she's fussy, or just anything, I wear her in that because she's calm in it. I have two hands. It's comfortable for both of us. So yeah, I still wear her in it. And actually, Bo can even be worn in it. He likes to get in it sometimes and just be held really close and in the wrap. It's cute. Are you a self-taught photographer? Yes, I love photography. That's one thing I do. It's like this digital creator, content creator, influencer, whatever I am, whatever you want to call me, is like the perfect thing for me because I love photography. I love like all of this. Like, this is fun for me. But the photography part, I got into photography when my older kids were little. because I just wanted to take good pictures. And I took one photography class. I remember it was in the evening, and I would like work all day when I was working full time. And then I would go to this photography class like once a week for like a month or something. And I loved it. Like I learned about how to use a DSLR camera and like how to, you know, change the ISO, and I learned all the terms, the f-stop and the shutter speed, and it's really fun for me. And so I love that part, but then I also love the editing part. I use Lightroom, and I love just changing the brightness and the contrast, and it's really fun. So yes, I'm a self-taught photographer, and I love it. And Jenna actually is a great photographer. She took pictures just the other day of her siblings, and I can't wait to see those because she's a really good photographer. She's good at everything she does. Let's see. The promoting of your products that are cluttering your stories. I hope you donate to the needy. So I was talking about that the other day. So as an influencer, you do get a lot of products to promote. And one thing is that I love promoting small businesses and family-owned businesses. I love doing that because it helps the businesses, but it also introduces people to products they may not have ever seen before. And so I always say, just look at the promotions as like a commercial. So if you're watching stories and you want to see like Big Family Life or whatever I'm sharing that day, and then there's like promotion of some products, well, you might be interested in some of them, but if you're not, then just click the button. Like just skip through them. There's no big deal. Just skip through them. You know, promoting products is a way that content creators, yes, they make money doing that, but they also help small businesses. So it's like a win-win. And sometimes followers even are introduced to products. Like the other day, I was promoting these shoes, and I'd never heard of the shoes, but I wore them, and I like genuinely loved the shoes. I wear them a lot. And my followers bought the shoes and are thanking me for introducing me to them because it has helped their plantar fasciitis, and you know, their back feels better with these shoes. And so those are things that make me really happy to promote. But if I'm not using products that I am promoting, which actually rarely happens because I usually use all of the products. But if it's something like one time somebody sent me a like compression stockings and a I think it's called a TENS unit or something. I never really use that, and so I gave it to somebody. But I don't usually say when I donate or I give. I don't like go on stories and say that. You know, like I don't like, hey, today I gave away a bunch of stuff. Like I just do it and I don't say anything. But maybe I should, because I do donate a lot of things to a lot of people. So anyway, there's that. Let's see. I hate that you missed out on Jenna's college visit. Couldn't you get one of Jenna's friends to babysit? This is very sweet. Jenna did not mind at all. Like she loved that one-on-one time with her dad, and I stayed home with all the kids. That's one thing when you have a big family. Like babysitters are hard to find, and if you do find one and you go, especially if you're going like 3 hours away to a college visit, I would be so anxious. I would be so nervous to leave someone with 9 kids, even though a lot of them are just self-sufficient. Like for me to bring a teenager in or a babysitter and leave them with like 9 kids, I would be, I don't know. I just cannot. It's maybe other moms could do that. I cannot do that. And we used to have like our family, we live on a multi-generational homestead, so we have both sets of parents on our property. And so whenever we'd go to dinner or we'd like go somewhere, they would just step in and they'd watch the kids, and they were around the kids all the time, and they knew how we did things. And we'd go on like big trips, like we'd go out of state, and I was never worried, nothing. Like I never, it was just, we're going on a trip now, and the grandparents watch the kids. And we can't do that now because my father-in-law has passed away. My dad is recovering from cancer. Lucas's mom just broke her hip. my mom is busy taking care of my dad. So just within like a year, all of that is just gone. So I'll cry if I think about it too much, but it was crazy how fast that happened. But anyway, I am 100% fine just being home with all my babies. Okay, how long do you breastfeed each baby? I already talked about that, about a year. Someone said a bunch of sweet words. Thank you. Is that a powered automatic retractable pool cover? Yes, it's like the only way that I would feel safe having a pool, because it 100% covers the water every time we get out of the pool. It's like over the pool. And so whenever, you know, the kids are swimming, we open it, and then an adult is always out there. And then whenever we're done swimming, it's a code. And so we put a code in, and the automatic cover goes all the way over. It slides over the top of the water, and you can even walk on the cover. Like, it's so, it's just great. And it's the only way I could ever imagine having a pool with kids. I don't know the brand. I get asked that a lot. We got the pool cover when we built the house, but I know there's a lot of different brands out there. But it's so nice. I like really love that. Will Jenna be active on her Instagram account again? I love seeing her posts. She goes in spurts. Like, she does it whenever she feels like it. And I told her, I said, if you want to do this in college, you could totally do this as like a college job, really. And she's like, yeah, I might. So it's always there if she chooses to do more of her Instagram. But right now, her priority needs to be like school and just enjoying her last year at home before college. So if she wants to do Instagram, then she can. And her page is Jenna Bean Adventures, and she's on TikTok too, and Facebook and Instagram. Let's see, next question. Some of these are duplicates here. When is the next baby coming? That's always asked. I don't know. To be determined, right? We might be done. We may not be done. You just never know. Yeah, keep you on your toes, right? How are you so organized? And how do you keep up with the dishes? I am kind of naturally organized. I've gotten... So I used to be like so organized that I was probably like no fun to be around, you know, because I was like, if something was out of place, I'd be like, you know. After 10 kids, you relax a lot. And now I am organized, but I also, like, from summertime, I give a lot of grace for kids just being kids. And then I will sweep through a room and just reorganize it like really quick. And I actually think it's fun. Like, I love organizing. I love cleaning, especially when the kids are at school and I can just focus on that. And I don't have to like stop and like make a meal, clean up a meal, like do other things. If I can just like put my head down and clean, organize, I love it. It's so much fun. So I would say how I do it is I just pick a room and I swoop through it and I take everything out of the room, and then I put it back in the room or a drawer or a closet, like whatever the area that you're organizing, even if it's a small thing, take everything out first and then go through it and be like, is this trash? First separate it into trash and keep. And then in the keep pile, maybe sort it into categories. Like I would say like goes with like. So if things are the same or similar, put them together. And ideally you would have like a big staging area, like a hallway or a countertop or a living room. And you could just like do this in there before you put it back in the room. And so after you put like with like, then look at it and be like, do I have more than one of a certain item? And if you do, maybe donate one, or ask yourself, do you really need 2 of these or 10 of these or whatever the amount is? I know sometimes when I like organize, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I had 15 hairbrushes. I don't need 15 hairbrushes, you know, I might need 3. And so I will, you know, downsize, and then I put everything back in the room in order that makes sense for function. So like when I go into the room, I try to think about how I will use the items, and I put them back in a way that makes sense, even if it wasn't the way they were before. So that's kind of how I organize. And another thing I do is it's like a little rule in my head. I only keep the amount of stuff that fits in my house. So if I have a drawer and it's bulging with stuff, I need to get rid of some stuff or find another spot for it, or a closet. If I have a closet and it's like bulging with so much stuff that you don't even know what's in it, I have to get rid of something. So that's kind of my rule. Like when we had a smaller house, I kept a lot less things. Then we have a bigger house, I can keep a little bit more things. But even my closet, like if I get a lot of clothes and I don't have room for them, my hangers are like super tight and my drawers are overflowing, then it's time to just get rid of stuff. And Lucas always jokes that I'll just throw away everything, or not throw away, but like bag up everything to donate or get rid of, because I just don't like overstuffed drawers and piles. It like makes me like, so that's kind of little tips on how I do things, how I organize. I love the way a organized house feels, or a picked up house. And so that's why I do it. It's just more efficient too. When you have a lot of kids and you're trying to get out of the house, you really need to like be a little bit organized. Otherwise it's just really chaotic. Let me tell you. So organization is also survival. It's not just because I am super organized. It's like survival. Okay, will Cora be in all-day kindergarten or half-day? She's going to be in all-day kindergarten, and they take naps. They're probably taking a nap like right now, and that helps a little bit because they do get so tired in kindergarten for the whole day. But they take naps, I think, through Christmas break, and then when they come back from Christmas break, then they don't take naps every day unless the teacher thinks they need them. What are your favorite ways to help be productive? The first thing that comes to mind is make a list. So every day in the morning, I make a list of everything that I would love to get done that day. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I have to give myself grace too, especially with little ones, because sometimes your day is pretty much just their day, and you don't get really anything done. But I'll make a list and I'll put these things I have to get done. Like you have to do certain things, even with littles, like you have to do things. And then here are things that I would love to do if I have time. And then I just start like marking off the list, and that helps me feel productive. I always add a few house items to that, like clean the pantry, get out the fall clothes, whatever the item is, I like write it down. And then whenever my big kids are home, I sometimes assign them something that they can help with, like, they help with the trash, take the trash out, feed the animals, clean your room, like basic things like that. So I try to delegate things where possible. Somebody said, nice comments, thank you. They're saying they like my bangs growing out. Yeah, we're kind of in like a awkward bang, long hair kind of stage, but whatever. Has Bo gone back to his bottle because of Laura Kate? Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. The bottle at bedtime is kind of a comfort thing to him. So I'm like, it's fine. He'll grow out of it. He's not going to have the bottle forever, but he does like the bottle. So it's okay. That's another big family mama tip is don't worry about what you should or shouldn't be doing as far as like bottle, sippy cup, diapers, pull-ups, potty training, all those things. Like your child will learn to potty train and they will learn to give up the bottle. So just let that one go. They will learn to do it on their own time, I promise. What is your favorite grocery store? Off the top of my head, I would say, we use Walmart a lot because Walmart delivers and Walmart, it's just right there. But I love Harps. I really love Harps. They don't deliver to our house though, but they I just love harps. I don't know. I can't say why. I just do. I love the feel of it, and I love their produce and their deli. Like, I don't know. I just like harps. Okay. Boy, let's see. How's Lucas's mom? Someone asked. Thank you for asking. So she fell a few days ago and she broke her hip and she had hip surgery, and now she is recovering in the hospital. And Lucas just called on his way home and he said that she's doing really good today. But we have to have a kind of like a family meeting pretty soon and figure out what the best thing to do next is, because she's going to need some help. Have a kind of like a family meeting pretty soon and figure out what the best thing to do next is, because she's going to need some help, whether it's at home or somewhere else, or we just need to like figure that out. And that's like new territory. We've never had to do that before. So here we go. So that's going to be a big decision. Okay, next question. Someone said they think Liam looks like my husband. I think so too. I actually just made a reel of Liam put on his scrubs, and I zoomed in on Liam and like zoom out on Lucas, and they do look so similar. Where did you buy your couch covers? Those are from a company called Mama Mia, and I have a discount code. I don't know how to link them on TikTok. I'm sure there's a way. I don't know. I'm new to TikTok Live, but I will link them on my Instagram stories when I'm done here. I'll make a note to link those, and I'll link my hippie Joey, and then there was something else. Oh, the shoes I was talking about. I'll link those too. Okay, next. A lot of these are the same. Is Cora excited to start kindergarten? She's excited. She was nervous, but she's excited. Do the kids speak of Grampy Norm? All the time. All the time. Every day. We talk about him every single day. He was such a big part of our life that, like, even when we're not meaning to talk about him, we talk about him. Like, I even just talked about him like an hour ago, because Lucas bought a new truck and he had a hubcap fall off of his truck. And I had to get a new hubcap, and it was $196 for a hubcap. And I was saying how Grampy Norm would have not liked that at all. He always, like, for like a piece of plastic for a vehicle to spend that much money, he would never have done that. He was always so mad about like how much oil changes were. Like, we'd have him take our vehicle to get an oil change, and he'd come back and be like, that was $100 for an oil change. I can do your oil changes, you know. So Grampy Norm's memory is like alive and well, and the kids and I and Lucas, we talk about him all the time. Is my dad gaining any weight back, and can he talk? So thank you for asking. You guys are the best, just for caring about all my family. We've got so much going on right now with medical stuff. My dad's at home. My mom is taking care of him. He has home health come a few times a week, and he got his PICC line removed. So my dad had cancer in October of last year, and he went through chemotherapy, radiation, and he had a PEG tube back then. But then they thought that he had a PET scan and it was clear, and so he didn't have cancer, which was amazing. And so he got the PEG tube removed, and then he lost a lot of weight, and his throat was very sore. And so he was in the hospital for about like 10 days or so. And he was on the right track. He got a PICC line. He actually had a trach, and he has a PEG tube. And he now does not have a PICC line, so his lung infection is gone. And they're thinking about taking the trach out pretty soon, because he's able to breathe without it. So he's on the up and up, but as far as gaining weight, he's not really gaining weight like a lot, but he's not losing weight. So we'll take what we can get, and his spirits are up. He's always been so positive throughout this whole thing. It's been an inspiration to watch him go through that and just be positive, and just, he still jokes, and he can talk. So yeah, he can talk, and yeah, the kids see him all the time. They see him more than I do, because they like walk back and forth all the time. But thank you guys for all your prayers for all of that. Next question. Do you have a sound system in the whole house? We don't have like a intercom type sound system, but we have a surround sound for audio, like for music. So sometimes we'll put music on and then we can turn the surround sound on and it plays like through the halls and through the first floor, even outside. That's a really cool thing that we did whenever we built, that I'm glad that we did. Especially like when we're swimming, it's really fun to like sit there and have music on. I was thinking about doing an intercom at one point, but then I didn't really want like wires in the wall, and then we ended up going with like Echo Dots, like from Amazon, and those worked pretty well, but we just use phones, and actually the kids are typically just right by where we are, so if we need to reach anybody, they're usually like right there, or I can have one of our little messengers run and get whoever we need. So that's kind of how that works. Sorry, there's like flies in here. That's one another side effect of summer is the doors are always open and closed all day and let the flies in. But what kind of church do you go to? We go to a Baptist church. It's a wonderful Baptist church. How often do you wash your dogs? Our dogs are like the classic country dogs. If we washed our dogs today, they would be dirty in a few hours. They are always just in the woods, outside, inside. They're country dogs, and we don't wash them that often, but I have had them groomed a few times, and then I'm always like, why did I do that? Because they're just like totally dirty again. Why did I just do that? But we do brush them. We brush them, and they're fine. Let's see, next question. Do you think any of your kids will get married on your property since it's so beautiful? It's possible. I bet we'll have a few weddings here. We do have a nice location for it, like out in front of the house. There's like the big hill and like the double doors, and I could totally see a wedding happening out there. But not anytime soon, okay? Are you always on your phone? I feel like that would be annoying, especially for your husband. I'm not always on my phone, but I am on my phone in little bursts, I say. So I will be on my phone in the mornings, like when I say good morning, and I post a lot, and I'll post my reels, my stories, my whatever. And then I take a break, and then I'm on it usually like right now, like nap time. And then I try my hardest to not be on my phone when my husband comes home, but he just got here, so I'm on my phone when he's here, but I'll get off in a minute. So I try to not be on my phone when he's home, but I try to do it in bursts because there's something about just being intentional and being like present and looking your kids like in the eyes when they're talking to you. And I try really hard to do that because I don't want them to remember their mom being like on her phone visiting with them all the time, you know. I don't want to do that at all. So I'm not on my phone all the time, but it is kind of what I do. It's kind of my little job, so I'm on my phone a little bit. Okay, is it great having a doctor for a husband when your kiddos get sick? Yes, it is, absolutely. Lucas has talked me down a lot of times. Like if I'm like really worried about something, he'll be like, they're fine, it's a virus, just give it a few days, they'll be fine. I'm like, okay. So yes, it's very handy. Or like if a kid like, you know, hurts themselves, he'll look at it and be like, you know, we should probably take them in for this one, or I can glue this one. He's had to glue a few arms or a few cuts before, so that has come in handy too. Okay, how are you so calm with all of the children? I would say that I am more calm the more children that we have and the older I get. I am more calm with those things. I was probably not as calm when we had like 2 kids and when I was younger. It just kind of happens. So if you're not calm and you want to be more calm, just have a bunch of kids. That's the solution. Okay. Some of these are duplicates. Okay, I'm going to answer just a few more of these, and then I'm going to go spend some time with my hubby. And I'm so impressed that baby Laura is still sleeping. So let's It's a whole new world with them taking naps at the same time. Aw, I'm reading some comments. That's awesome. That's cool. Okay. What is the earliest your children have walked and the latest? It's amazing how kids are all so different. Yes, I agree. My earliest walker so far was Sam, and he was 10 months old. Like, I think he was like right at 9 and 10 months old, like barely 10 months. I was not ready for it. I thought we had a few more months, and he just like took off one day. And the longest that it took to walk was Inga, and she was 16 months old. And I remember thinking that she can walk, like she's strong enough. Like I see her stand and like she totally could walk, but she just chose not to. And I even asked my doctor, our pediatrician, I said, like, should we be worried because like she's a year old and she's not walking and all my other kids have been walking by now? And my doctor said, we don't usually worry until the children get around like 16 months old. So she's fine. I'm sure she'll walk. And then it got to like 13 months, 14 months, 15 months. And she walked almost to the day of her 16-month birthday. And that is so Inga. If you know Inga, you know that that is so her. So it was kind of funny. So it's a funny story we tell nowadays. But she was like so heavy too. I remember like I had to carry her everywhere. And we had Benny when Inga was 17 months old. They were like our closest together. And so I remember thinking like, I'm going to have a newborn and this huge toddler to carry around at the same time. So I was glad she walked the month before he was born. Let's see. Are you not going to have any more babies? Same question. To be determined. Okay, I think that's it for now. I hope you guys liked our TikTok live. I'm still trying to figure this out, trying to figure out the best platform to go live on, but I think I like TikTok live. I think it went pretty well. So, all right, hope everyone has a great day. How do I end this?